We know AI can generate, say, a complaint pleading in seconds, right? You go to ChatGPT, you give it some prompts of what you want, and then you got yourself a narrative in a matter of seconds there. But what if it could also generate a ready to export docx and pleading paper? So with that same ChatGPT example, we're not quite there yet. We still got to take that, format it out, list out our cause of actions, and then we're ready to go ahead and export that into a docx. So what if AI could automatically write that complaint pleading for you and have it export in a ready to go docx format? What if it could write a demand letter, but instead of having it just be regular text, it's actually outputting in your firm's letterhead? Today, I'm going to show you how we can do just that with KSLE AI. So I'm going to show you how we can generate both a pre-formatted complaint pleading and a demand letter using KSLE. I'm also going to show you how you can use KSLE to generate any type of document using our template system that we've built out. So let's go and jump into it. Let's go ahead and start first with generating a complaint. So I'm going to switch over here to KSLE. You're going to see our matters screen here. And like you see here, there's no matters yet. So the first step with KSLE is to go ahead and create a matter. So let's go ahead and do that. And then let's go ahead and name our matter John Dorman there. Great. So now we have our kind of core UI here for working with this particular matter. So the first step is right now, this has no idea who John Dorman is. The first step is going to be uploading some files. This will give KSLE an understanding of what this case is all about, what are the facts at hand, and then it'll use that to generate our documents. So let's go ahead and add some files here. We're going to go ahead and just select a few files for John Dorman here. Let's open those up. We're going to go ahead and upload those. Those files are uploaded successfully. And if I click into here, we see now that these documents are processing. All that we're doing on the back end is we're going and reading through these documents and parsing out the text and then storing that into our system so that way KSLE will know how to reference and what to reference. So that just finished up here. We've got an intake and we've got a personnel file here. This file seems to be a little bit larger, so it's going to take a little bit more time to go ahead and process. So there it goes there. There you go. Now that's done. So now that all our documents are processed, let's go ahead and actually start generating that complaint plead. So you can see right here, we've got a predefined template. So if I go ahead and just click on use template here, we'll go ahead and jump into that. One small note on the files, it doesn't matter if we have 3 files like we have here, or if we have 400 or 500. The way that KSLE is set up, it's going to go ahead and intelligently be able to understand for whatever document that you're trying to generate, supporting documents does the AI need to actually generate that document for you. So it'll intelligently understand what it's trying to accomplish and then what files it should be bringing in. So that way we don't have this problem of trying to understand, well, for this particular document, I'm going to need XYZ files. Don't need to take care of that. It's 2025. We have AI to do that for us. So let's go ahead and jump into our complaint plead. Let's go ahead and use this template. So what it's doing, exactly like I said, it's going to search through our matter files. It identified 3 files, and now we're going to go ahead and write our document. So there it goes. It's going to go ahead and use our pre-made template here. We can read through what is all in this prompt, and it's going to see what the labor codes that we want to pull in, what the particular laws that we want to list here as far as cause of actions go. This is for an employment complaint. And we see here on the right-hand side that it is going ahead and formatting our complaint cover sheet. We have the correct sections. And soon enough, we're going to go ahead and see our cause of actions listed out here. So we'll go ahead and let KSLE finish, and then we'll jump back as soon as this is done. All right, now we are done with generating our document. And so you see the right-hand side actually changed a little. While before we had our cause of actions being streamed in and the rest of the document, we see here also we've got our prayer for relief and our signature block. Once this is all done, we pop it over to a Word editor type of UI. And so over here, if we need to make quick changes, if I want to add some dashes here, I can go ahead and do that. I can bold things, I can italicize things. The basic word editor is here to allow us to edit any of those last minute changes that we need. But say we're feeling good about this, right? Let's go ahead and export this as a docx in our pleading paper, right? That would be the amazing aha moment if we can do that. So if I click on export to docx here, there it goes. That's our download. Let's go and open up this Word document here. And you see we have on the left-hand side, we've got our pleading paper here. We've got the formatting right. We have our paragraphs are numbered. And if I scroll all the way down to our prayer for relief and signature block, that is also all formatted correctly. So There you go. In a matter of seconds, the AI has went ahead and written my complaint pleading for me, set up the formatting, and now I have a docx that I can go ahead and export and do whatever I need to with it. Great. That's awesome. That is the magic of KSLE. We've built on top of the kind of common LLM providers, and we've added a bunch of custom formatting and post-processing to go ahead and make this export dialed in and ready to go as soon as you click on export. So with that, let's go ahead and jump over to writing a demand letter. So this will look a little bit differently, but let's go jump back to John Dorman on our matter view here. Again, using the same files, and you can see here, I'm not going to need to particularly select a certain matter files. I'm just going to have Casey go ahead and auto select and find what files it needs to. And let's go ahead and click on demand letter and use this template. Same process here. We can see Casey is searching. It's going to look through those 3 files for us. And very similarly, again, Casey is going to go ahead and auto-generate our demand letter for us. And if you see on the left-hand side here, we've got a bit of a prompt that will start this process up for us, kind of detailing how we'd like our demand letters written. And once I show you how to generate any document, when we get into templates, I'll show you how we can modify these for your firm. So there goes KSLE streaming in the content here. We can see all the facts and the dates. These are all going to correspond with what we provided in the files. So as long as our files are accurate, KSLE will do a good job of pulling in the relevant facts when it needs to. So we'll go ahead and again, let this finish up. Sweet. So again, now that we're done, KSLE goes ahead and pops it over into a Word style editor. So again, we can make our spot changes here. But let's go ahead and click on export to docx and let's see how this one looks. So for our demand letter, obviously we're not going to be wanting a pleading paper, and you can see here, KSLE respects that and then just drops it into a plain Word file. But let's say we like to have our firm's letterhead, right? This is a kind of a common ask. We're going to want to make it formatted even more. So even still with that Word doc, I'll have to copy and paste it over into something that looks like our firm's, but we can take care of that right away. So let's go ahead and click this bottom button here. Let's go into settings. And over here, if I scroll down, we get a few things. Number one, like we have this custom formatting. So over here, this is just plain text. I can just enter what I want as far as naming convention. So if I have a particular way I like my files named, I can drop this in here. So for example, if I like to have year, month, day with the description of the document, I can put that here. If I like to have the matter name, I can drop that in there. This is all plain text. There's no complicated templating language or syntax. You just tell KSLE what you want your files to be, similar to what you would do if you had a paralegal or a legal clerk. Hey, take a look. This is how I like to have my things. Keep it high level, keep it English. Again, it's 2025. We have AI to take care of these things for us. But let's go ahead and leave that blank for now. And just below, we have letterheads. So if I click onto this letterhead we've previously uploaded, this is essentially a blank document. This is actually listing my co-founder's firm where we have everything formatted. So we have our letterhead, we have our signature block. This is what we want. And the way this works essentially is we upload a blank document, and this will go ahead and contain a little placeholder for KSLE to understand where to put in the text. But again, you just put that in there. KSLE goes ahead and uploads it, and then we can visualize it over here. Yes, this is the letterhead we want. So let's jump back to our demand letter. We've got this here. This time I'm going to click on output format. And here we get the options for how we'd like our docx to be formatted. So this is the standard document. This is the plain blank sheet of paper that we had. We have pleading paper, which is what we saw earlier with the complaint pleading. But we also have custom letterhead. So if I go into here, now we'll see my letterhead.docx. I'll go ahead and select it. And now when I export this document, we'll go ahead and let this wrap up. We're going to be able to see again our now visible. So we have our demand letter, but now it's inserted into our firm's letterhead. And now again, this is probably even closer to what we'd eventually like to send out. So with KSLE AI, all we're trying to do is really take those processes that were maybe taking 2 to 3 days, or maybe it takes, a handful of hours to finalize and format a complaint pleading or demand letter, and just shrink that time down to a few minutes. And then if you spread this across your legal team, what that would do for your business is kind of our vision for what we're building here. So great, that's a demand letter. Now let's go ahead and jump into building any type of document at scale. So again, we're going to go back to the bottom left button here. We'll go into templates, And we're going to see those 3 templates that we had before. So KSLE, we're building up our template library. Right now, if I go into demand loader and I click this gear icon, we're going to see the template that we're actually using here. And then same for complaint plead, everything is listed out here. And then our retainer agreement, this is another thing that we provided. Again, we'd like to expand the number of default templates we have, but this is what we have for now. But let's go ahead and say, hey, we like this demand letter, but we want to make some changes. So if I go ahead and just grab the prompt that's in there, I click on add templates. I'm going to go ahead and call this KSLE demand letter. Let's go ahead and for output format, we're going to want our custom letterhead, and we'll keep the document type here to default. Now let's go ahead and drop in our previous template. And here we can go ahead and add any more sections that we want. So if we needed to modify this, or hey, we actually don't care about a factual background, let's go ahead and just get rid of it. Awesome, that's good. And then we'll go ahead and name this KSLE demand letter. And now we'll go ahead and create the template. So now we have our custom demand letter, and if we wanted to, we can just start using it right away from this view. We can just select the matter. Or if I were to jump back over to my matters, so John Dorman, I'll see it again present here across all of my matters. So then if I go ahead and use this template, we'll get that same view with our custom demand letter template now here. So as far as roadmap, the place we'd like to go here with templates is this is still a little bit cumbersome. And again, in the year of 2025, we shouldn't be using blank text boxes. We'd like to be more AI native here as well. One of the roadmap items that we're actually working on is having you upload a document that you'd like to have templatized. And using our same system of document reading, we're going to be able to read in that document, whether it is a retainer, whether it's your demand letters, whether it's how you like to do your complaints. We'll go ahead and ingest that, understand what it is that you like, how you develop your documents, and then generate this template for you automatically. So there's much to look forward to. There's a lot that we're adding to the product. If you want to give this a shot, go ahead and go over to ksle.ai and start your free trial. We're still in early access, so I'll actually work with your firm specifically to set up any of these kind of customized templates for your particular workflow. Leave a comment on what you'd like to see next, but with that, I'll see you on the next one.